With inflation rising to fearsome levels, the Fed should be taking measures to cool the economy. But under its binary mandate, the agency is also obliged to ensure maximum sustainable employment. At present, the Fed is erring too much on the side of maximum employment. Rather, Mr. Powell must angle the scales back in favor of cost stability. However, he risks inviting a sluggish economy or even a recession in the coming years if he doesn't. He confessed on Tuesday that he now expects high inflation to continue into the middle of 2022, stating that the government should no longer push what had been a recurring slogan of it being temporary. In today's video, we'll discuss what steps Powell should take after this confession. But before that, make sure you have pressed that red subscribe button along with that tiny bell icon to get updated every time we post new videos. Let's get started. Many correctly noted that the Fed doesn't have the tools to open supply chains or increase labor force participation. But if the Fed had maintained even longer this temporary inflation mindset, it risks unleashing another strong driver of coming price increases, that of unanchored inflation prospects. And while this would not mean a return to the double-digit inflation rates of the 1970s, it would affect in the continuance of inflation rates significantly above what the economy and fiscal markets are safely wired for. The later the Fed is in responding duly to inflationary developments, the higher the probability that, by having to hit the policy brakes hard, it will end up being the main cause of the temporary inflation pattern on which, unfortunately, it had to stake part of its credibility. But in being proved right in this way, the Fed would risk a dangerous domestic recession, market volatility, and destabilizing spillovers for the global economy. Such a pattern is familiar to economic historians. Caught behind the inflation wind, the Fed scrambles to strain fiscal policy suddenly, hitting demand hard and pulling the rug from under businesses that are looking to hike prices and keep them high. Numerous workers lose their jobs, stealing labor of its bargaining power. And markets go through bouts of destabilizing liquidity, risking adverse spillbacks to an already struggling economy. This threat scenario is particularly worrisome for more vulnerable parts of the population, having formerly had to deal with high prices that affect large portions of their daily budgets. They will also face the threat of joblessness and the income loss that comes with it. Besides the unnecessary damage to economic well-being, there would also be negative socio-political and institutional effects. It's thus encouraging that, on the very last day of November, Powell made an unforeseen inflation U-turn and stated that it was time to retire the temporary characterization. The Fed must now follow up by doing two things speedily. First, as part of a critical effort to recapture the credibility that's essential for its forward policy guidance and functional independence, it should publicly detail why it got its inflation call wrong and what's being done to avoid resemblant slippages in the future. Second, the Fed must move a lot briskly in tapering its monthly asset purchases. Easing its foot off a stimulus policy accelerator that's still basically in a pedal to the metal mode will help to alleviate the threat that the Fed will have to slam on the policy brakes in a disorderly manner in mid-2022. So that's all for today's video. Let us know your views in the comments section below, and don't forget to like this video before leaving. Thanks for watching.